If you're thinking of visiting Taiwan but want something a little bit more relaxed than the hustle and bustle of Taipei, you need to check out Taichung. Taiwan's underrated and artsy city that's only about 40 minutes from Taipei via high-speed rail. Whether you're into bubble tea, quirky museums and art, nature, or some of the best food that Taiwan has to offer, Taichung will have something for you. In this video, I've basically put together everything I wish I knew before I went to Taichung. From where to stay, how to get around, and what you absolutely should not miss when it comes to what to see, eat, try, do, and drink. Consider this your ultimate Taichung guide for beginners. I have, by the way, tried to be as brief as possible when describing each of the locations that I've been to, but this video is still quite long, as after all, I'm trying to cover absolutely everything I did over a roughly 3-day period. That's why I have meticulously added chapters, so feel free to skip around. 괜찮아요? And so without a moment further, let's get straight into it, shall we? I headed to Taichung via the high-speed rail, which I've previously covered in my Kaohsiung video, and it is honestly so easy to book, and I was in Taichung in less than 40 minutes.
And just like that, here we are in Taichung. Let's go check into our hotel.
The high-speed rail station connects to the main Taichung metro, but to get to where we're staying, the bus is the preferable option. Hot tip for those visiting, the bus stops are located under the main entrance of the Taichung main station. As always, where I stay is decided based on an amalgamation of price and how close it is located to all the places I want to check out while I'm in town. Based on that, my pick was Check-in Express. The room is pretty bare basics if I'm being honest, but its location and price at $70 a night made this a pretty obvious choice. Once I was settled in, I headed over to the first stop of my Taichung trip.
I already know where it is because there's a queue.
Did you know that Taichung is home to the world's first Michelin-rated gelato shop? And as you can see, it is clearly a very popular destination.
And I'm so lucky because I'm the second last person that they're gonna serve before they close today.
It took me roughly about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the front, during which time you can scan the QR code on the wall here to peruse the menu, which I would recommend you do, by the way, especially if you don't read Chinese, as that way you can translate the menu and decide what you want to get ahead of time. Hot tip, this place takes cash only, by the way, as will all the night markets and food stalls we will be checking out later on in this video, so I definitely recommend having some Taiwanese dollar on hand before you arrive in Taichung.
So there's 5 flavors on the menu. I did get 1 gelato and 1 sorbet. The sorbet is the sake one, and the gelato is a oolong tea flavor. There's also like a black sesame element going on for it as well that is great. The oolong tea flavors really come through, and it's also not too sweet, but it still has like a certain creaminess texture to it that I love. So this is minimal gelato, definitely worth checking out, but I would recommend coming either first thing in the morning or towards closing time, which is what I did, but make sure you don't come too late, otherwise you might get cut off.
One of my favorite things about Taiwan is their delicious and cheap eats, which is why I started my day at a Michelin bib gourmand spot, Mian. This no-frills shop is always packed with locals, which is always a promising sign in my opinion. The star of the show, so to speak, is their dry noodles, which look a lot like kondo mee in Malaysia. If you know, you know. It's tossed in a savory soy-based sauce and topped off with some minced pork. This is also paired with a bowl of soup with some tofu and assorted fish and pork meats in there. We call it yong ye in Malaysia. This delicious breakfast cost me just 65 Taiwanese dollars and was such a fantastic way to start my first day here in Taichung. I then kicked off my day of exploration at the famous painted animation lane. This little alley is covered with colorful murals of classic anime and cartoon characters like Super Mario, Pikachu, Dragon Ball Z, and tons more. If you grew up with any semblance of a childhood, you will recognize at least one of these childhood favorites. I found myself stopping every few feet just to take in all the little details. It's not a huge lane, but definitely worth a visit if you're in the area and want something quirky, creative, and super local. Following the theme of comics, you're gonna love this next one. Located just around the corner is the National Taiwan Museum of Comics, which is home to 8 theme exhibits showcasing popular Taiwanese comics from the 1950s to the 2010s. The venue itself also tells a story. The museum is housed at the beautifully restored grounds of the former Taichung prison. Indeed, the backyard of the museum is an experience in itself. Take your time to explore through an Edo period style area complete with Japanese houses, beautiful statues, ponds, and trees.
Would you guys believe that hidden down this long neighborhood alleyway is a Michelin award-winning restaurant? Let's go check it out.
This is Ting, a beloved eatery with over 60 years of history. They are known for their signature goose noodle soup. The broth is infused with a Chinese herb Tang, offering a unique and robust flavor.
Basically, their flagship dishes are these two here. You get to choose between the duck or goose. I think I'm gonna have the goose.
Goose meat, which by the way is hard to come by, is known for its springy texture and rich taste, which is why their signature goose noodle soup often sells out within the first 30 minutes of opening. So definitely come by as soon as you can after their opening time at 11 a.m. This next location though has been right at the top of my list when I was planning for this trip, and I'm so excited that I'm able to share this with you. The Hausinc 1035 is a cafe that is housed in a beautifully restored building that once served as an eye clinic during the Japanese colonial period. The cafe seamlessly blends vintage charm with modern design. There's actually 3 sections to Hausinc. The first section in the front is the cafe that you walk up to. It is a warehouse conversion style space with high ceilings. I'm no coffee connoisseur by any means, but they seem to take their coffee very seriously here. There's a huge variety of different blends. I got myself a coffee of course, but the one thing that you absolutely must get when you're here is their caramel pudding. It's not too sweet and just the right amount of creamy. It was so good. The second section is located in the middle of the building and is a bakery where you can see and smell them baking the goods whilst also perusing their selection. The decor is in my opinion on par if not better than some of the best cafes I've been to in Seoul. There's also a third section at the back which is currently still under development. According to them, it will be a Zen garden of some sort.
I also got myself a pastry because I didn't want to just take pictures of the bakery without buying something. I forgot what it was, but it tastes like coffee and it's got like a chewy mochi center as well. I think the center is also made from coffee. It actually tastes pretty good too.
If you like boba tea though, this next spot is a must visit.
As Simu once said, Taiwan is the birthplace of boba tea, and today we are specifically heading to the store where the boba tea was created.
Located in Taichung's West District, this place has been around since 1983, and this very store is where the now iconic pearl milk tea, now known globally as bubble tea, was first created, marking a significant moment in Taiwan's history. It was quite busy and took me about a good 20 minutes to be seated. They've got food as well, but listen, I'm a man on a mission, and so I got the original bubble tea, which by the way also took a while to come out, but look at the size of that.
Okay, so we've got here the larger size of the original bubble milk tea, known as Zhenju Naicha. I've already had a taste. Can I just say that I always appreciate in Taiwan how the bubble milk tea actually tastes like tea. There's actually a really strong tea flavor element to it, but at the same time the drink is also quite creamy, the milk, but the milk doesn't overpower the tea.
Interesting trivia about me, I'm actually not a huge dairy fan, which is why I have always steered clear of boba teas, but this has completely changed my opinion on bubble teas. It is so good. After my bubble tea experience, I dropped by the Sun Cake Museum that's just around the corner. Yes, there is a museum dedicated entirely to the sun cake, before heading back to my hotel for a bit of a rest before dinner.
So the next Michelin spot that we're heading to is only open for dinner, and it's famous for its braised pork rice. Can I just say what I love about going to popular food spots is that you don't have to look at the map, you don't even need to know the language, you just need to follow the crowd.
You will get an order form to fill in while waiting. It's all in Chinese, but don't worry, Google Translate gives you a pretty accurate translation. I got a braised pork rice with an additional egg and also a bowl of my favorite soup, this bitter gourd soup. This meal cost me just 125 Taiwanese dollars or $3.50 US. The braised pork was melt in your mouth, and the combo of the sauce, meat and egg was absolute heaven. Totally worth the wait. You have to check it out.
But I am gonna head home now and call it a night because it's gonna be a long day tomorrow.
I started my second day in Taichung by heading to a chocolate store that literally looks like something straight out of a Ghibli film. Much like the Hausinc Cafe that we checked out the day before, this is the result of a refurbishment project that restored Taichung's largest eye clinic during the Japanese colonial era that was originally built in 1927 by Japanese ophthalmologist Miyahara, of which the building is named after. Today, the building retains a lot of its original original structure. I love the high ceilings, ornate wooden bookshelves, and intricate chandeliers. The store itself sells a selection of traditional Taiwanese pastries like pineapple cakes and sun cakes, as well as an assortment of chocolate and teas, which I didn't get any of because I was saving my tummy for the gelato shop that's attached to the side of the store.
And while you're here at Miyahara, another thing you want to take off your checklist is to try out one of their ice creams.
Inserting this poster here because I think it's hilarious and a clever play on the venue's history. After a bit of a queue and wait, I managed to get my hands on some gelato. I got the salted caramel. It was pretty good, though I'm not sure if I would line up for it again. Which is why hot tip Miyahara actually has a sister location just around the corner called 4th Credit Union Cafe. It's a cafe located inside a former bank, so unique decor aside, you can also get your hands on the very same gelato that's available at Miyahara. Whilst I already had dessert, I still wanted a proper meal, so I headed on over to Name Noodles, a multi-Michelin bib gourmand winner. It is a small, no-frills family business that's been around for over 70 years and are known for their selection of noodle soups that are as authentic as you can get. I got their pork chop noodles and it truly felt like a good home-cooked meal. And the best part is I believe this was only 120 Taiwan dollars or $370 US. After lunch, I went to check out a popular tourist spot. This is the Rainbow Village.
We are currently here at the Rainbow Village in Taichung, Taiwan, known for its vibrant, colorful, and whimsical mural designs. It was originally a military dependence village, but was transformed by an elderly veteran called Huang Yufu, affectionately called Grandpa Rainbow. Faced with demolition, he began to paint the village's walls, streets, and houses with bright, playful designs featuring animals, people, and abstract patterns. His artwork captured public attention, leading to the site's preservation as a historical landmark today. The whole thing will take you about 15-20 minutes to get through, excluding your various photo opportunities. It is definitely a spot I would recommend you add to your itinerary.
This next spot took me a while to get to, but it's totally worth it. The Gaomei Wetlands is located in Taichung's Shui district and is a renowned ecological sanctuary. This popular tourist destination is known for its captivating sunsets, which means this time of the day was the perfect time for it. I mean, just look at this. It features an 800-meter boardwalk that extends into the wetlands, offering you an immersive experience of the unique landscape. I got back into the city starving, and no Taiwan trip is complete until you've been to a night market, so here I am at Fengchia Night Market, Feng甲夜市, which stands as one of Taiwan's largest and most vibrant night markets. It's been around since 1963 and it is easy to get overwhelmed here. I mean, after all, there are over 1,600 stalls, so when in doubt, simply follow the queue. I had some amazing food here by doing just that, including this braised pork rice, oyster omelette, oven-baked buns, and many more. Let me know in the comments if you would like a separate video on all the foods I ate here at Fengjia. And no, I'm not eating again. While it may look like I'm visiting another restaurant, I'm actually here to locate a secret bar. Because if you're a subscriber of my channel, you know that I can never say no to a good speakeasy. Gout Bar, also known as Hao Bar, is a hidden speakeasy concealed behind one of the walls in this restaurant. To enter, you will need to locate a secret button on this wall. Inside, you'll be greeted by a moody-hued boutique bar offering an array of innovative cocktails that feature local and overseas sourced spirits. The bar's ambience combines European gentlemanly charm with Japanese bar subtleties, and I honestly really enjoyed it here. In fact, I met some really friendly locals here who took me to the restaurant front after to have some juyo fan, aka pork oil rice, and man, if you haven't had this before, you are missing out. A couple of drinks and a meal later though, it was time to head back to rest as I have by far the longest day tomorrow. The places that I wanted to check out today are located quite a distance away from the city center, and so I decided to join a day tour that I booked via Klook. Tours are often the favorite part of my trips, if I'm being honest, as that way I don't have to stress about navigating public transport. Instead, here I am in an air-conditioned bus taking me place to place. It took us about slightly under 2 hours to get here from the central city of Taichung, and it's a great way to spend a day away from the main city area. I'm here at our first location of the day, the Sun Moon Lake. Let's go check it out. We took a boat across to really take in the stunning views to a little village for lunch. The village itself also had plenty to offer, from souvenirs to delicious food. I had braised pork rice here again. Yes, I think I'm a little obsessed with braised pork rice since I've arrived in Taiwan and have been ordering it whenever I see it. We were then off to a spot that was something I honestly did not expect to see in Taiwan. The Old England Manor is a hotel that was inspired by classic English manners. It even features a Gothic clock tower and definitely stands out from a mile away. Amazing architecture aside, you you will also be in a prime 360-degree view of stunning greens and mountains. The next stop is yet another popular destination in Taichung, the Cingjing Farm, also known as Taiwan's Little Europe. It offers stunning mountain views and sheep that you can feed and take pictures with.
Thankfully, it is beautifully sunny here in the Cingjing Farm, and so far today, the weather has been very tolerable for all these outdoor activities.
This is also where you can watch a horse show featuring these men doing some pretty amazing things with the horses. Honestly, after 2 days in the city, this overall was a welcome change in pace for me.
We just finished off an entire day of touring around, and so I thought that for dinner I would come to a night market that is much closer to where I'm staying. We are now at Taichung Night Market, Taichung夜市. Let's go get some dinner.
Much like any good night market in Taiwan, you can pretty much find any Taiwanese street food you can think of here. My personal favorites here included this giant fried chicken chop and watermelon juice. It is the morning of day 4 and I sneaked in a visit to another cafe here in Taichung that was recommended by the locals I met at Gout Bar. XIANG Cafe uniquely combines artwork, exhibitions and a cafe. There's literally an exhibition space on the ground level that I'm told rotates on a monthly basis. The cafe itself is very minimalist, industrial chic. I had a coffee and this caramel pudding here, which I'm told is a must try. I am honestly obsessed with the cafe culture here in Taichung and already can't wait to be back to check out more of them. It is, however, time to go, and here I am on a high-speed rail back to Taipei. It was my first time here in Taichung and I honestly don't think it will be my last. Controversial opinion, but after seeing Kaohsiung and Taichung, I think I might even prefer them to Taipei. Taichung, I will be back. As you can see, the number of places I've featured in this 3-day Taichung itinerary is pretty extensive, which is why, to make things easier for you and I have created a PDF file containing all the locations featured in this video, as well as any booking links, discount codes that you are going to find helpful for your upcoming trip. I've also additionally thrown in a little Taiwan pre-trip checklist for your reference as well. The document is free and you can download it via the booking link in my description box. I do hope that this video has offered you some value if you're planning to head to Taichung soon. And if you weren't planning to head to Taichung, well then I hope this video has convinced you that you absolutely need to. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all the good things that you know are gonna appease those holy YouTube algorithm gods, but by far, much more importantly, will make my day as a content creator. Particularly if you have a comment for me, don't forget to drop a comment in my comment section, as I love hearing from you. I will also link my first timer's guide to Taiwan and also my Kaohsiung travel guide at the end of this video so that you can go ahead and check out those next. And if you got to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do mean it when I say it means absolutely everything. As always, I hope that you have a fantastic day ahead or that you've already had a good day. I will see you real soon in the next video. Ciao!